My name is Tanya DePass, and I am a cis Black female content creator. I'm also part of Take This, both as a stream ambassador and on the board. And I'm also teaming up with Team Salvato to share my story for Mental Health Awareness Month. I first got into gaming with arcades, with D&D, Red Book, First Edition. I grew up in Chicago on the South Side, and it was a way to kind of flex my imagination and, have a place to go that wasn't always, the backyard. It was far more interactive than, just sitting in the attic with a book. Video games have played an interesting role in my mental health journey because in some ways, video games have helped me just kind of have a place to be when I don't have someone that I can talk to or don't feel like I have someone I can talk to. 2 years ago, my mother passed away suddenly, and video games actually helped me deal with that and helped me deal with grief and deal with the fact that this was sudden, and all things come with losing both a parent and someone very suddenly and in a pandemic. And it's been very soothing. It's been a place to lose myself, not in the unhealthy way, but in the I just need to not think about reality for a while. I'm going to go visit my favorite video game. It's also just been a way to think about how games can mirror the struggles that we have as games get more involved, as they get more narrative, as they get more deeply into the problems that a lot of people have, is seeing the things that I deal with reflected in games and reflected in a way that doesn't seem like a trope or a stereotype, but this character is shown as having the same issues with depression, and it's given me kind of a way to look at these games and interact with them in a whole different way. Being part of the gaming and / fandom community, on the one hand, it means having a place to be with friends, to be where I belong, but also on the unhappy side of it, it does mean sometimes being in a place where I'm not welcome, either because of my skin color, because of my race, because of my gender, because of my orientation. I would love the fandom and gaming communities to feel like a better place, like a safer space, but they don't always do. But the majority of it, the places I choose to surround myself with, that I choose to interact with, give me that safety, that place of home, that found family that I have, especially as I don't have a lot of blood family left, as it were. I felt the most vulnerable in that immediate few months after my mother passed. Talking about it was hard because I didn't have the best relationship with my mother. I didn't talk about her a lot. When friends talked about Mother's Day and all the stuff they're excited to do with their mom, I always got very quiet. This is hard for me to be open about because people mean well and they try to help, but it doesn't always help. Just overall being vulnerable means being open, being able to talk about these struggles and being able to say, I can't do anything on Mother's Day because it's too hard for me. I can't. Or being able to say the anniversary of her passing is a day that I just need to not talk to people, and being able to tell people that, because some people just don't even feel comfortable, or they don't feel like they can say those kinds of things. And it took over a year beyond her passing to be able to go, you know what? March 17th is a day that I can't talk to you. No work is going to happen. I just know this for a fact. That's the day where I need to not be online. I need to not talk to people. I need to not stream or anything like that. Or if someone comes in and means well, but wishes people a happy Mother's Day, if that will bring a flood of tears or make me angry. And being able to have that emotional vulnerability is what that means to me, because not everyone feels safe being open, even if it's something where all of us at some point are going to deal with death and grieving. Being able to even share that is what being vulnerable means with the community and even, on Twitter and other places. There are definitely parts I wish I could share more openly with the community. I get depressed. I get sad. There are days that I can't or don't want to get out of bed, because I've found that when I try to talk about these things, sometimes there's always but you've done so much. Someone like you could never be depressed. Someone like you can't have these issues, when that's the very thinking that drives a lot of people to not talk about their struggles, to not talk about their mental health, to not say, I'm struggling today. I wish I could talk about these things more openly. And sometimes I do, but there's always that one person that's just, oh, cheer up. Get out of the house, go see friends. In case you haven't noticed, we're still in a pandemic, so it's not very easy to just get out of the house. And that's not always a cure-all, because there's always the person who means well. And I know I keep saying means well a lot, but there's the person who doesn't really know you as a person. They just know you as whatever they've seen online, what they've seen of you on Twitter, on your streams, and has a version of you that does not exist, that often wants to be useful. They want to be helpy versus helpful. A lot of times I just don't discuss these things except for very, very few close friends. It's great to be a lot more open, and I'm being more open here, but in the general day-to-day things, it's just harder because people mean well, but they don't think before they respond, and they respond to be useful, to feel like they said something. Just from there, I'm like, I don't know if I want to talk about this. I mean, I've been not great, just some struggles with feeling like I belong, and even talking about it with one tweet has got people all off on the wrong tangent. I just wish I could be more of a whole person. What helps me feel connected with myself are those moments of quiet when I don't have anything to do, which is very few and far between. As for what helps me feel connected with the community, it's those games that we all love, those moments, you tell a joke and someone gets it, but also, at least in terms of the community that I try to cultivate, or it is having a place where people can talk and have these conversations, be vulnerable and be open and honest. And the fact that there is that trust built in there, because not everybody has a place where they can go talk and be comfortable, be themselves. That's the kind of openness, that ability to communicate that connects me to the community. And for myself, it's those very, very rare moments of quiet and stillness where I can just think or choose not to think and or just sleep the day away if I want to. Examples of when I've not felt supported or understood: whenever I bring up the fact that people only mention projects I'm in terms of diversity, or they put a lens of DEI, diversity, equality, and inclusion, on something that I'm talking about that's very personal. Not being cast or part of new shows. People immediately made it into, oh, you're talking about racism, you're talking about this. No, I'm just talking about my own personal feelings that I'm deep in right now. A lot of times when I try to be personable, be a person, people compartmentalize everything I say and do into DEI thing, and you're fighting the good fight. No, I get to be a whole person. I get to be disappointed. I get to be sad. Biggest disappointments are when people seem to forget that a lot of what I do is a job. A lot of the activations I do, a lot of the game things that I do are a job. It's not selling out. It's not giving in. I've got bills to pay. If you like the content I do, I need a roof over my head. I need electricity and internet. And to do that, I need to take deals. They may not be deals everyone agrees with. If the things I absolutely positively cannot do morally, I will not do it. There are just times where I've made a choice, been upfront with community, and had people act as if I've suddenly turned against them or turned against ideals and morals. People forget that I'm a real live person. I have a job to do. Putting people on a pedestal and forgetting that they're human. That is the biggest point at which I feel not supported or understood. Unexpected tools and self-care and other resources that have worked well for me. Stepping away and realizing I don't have to be online all the time. That may seem really obvious to some people, but when your job is remote, when you have to be very much online, realizing it's okay to step away from that. I don't have to be on Twitter right now, or be on Facebook, or calling a friend and getting on the phone, something a lot of us don't do anymore. Just, again, moments of quiet, taking time to sit back and enjoy something as simple as, I've got 20 blends of tea that I haven't even touched, or spend time reorganizing my office. That will actually help me mentally. And other self-care is, this is going to sound trite and weird, but did I eat today? Did I have water? Did I take vitamins? Have I stretched? Have I been in the same spot for like hours and not moved? Looking in that mirror on occasion, because I will bang the drum and fuss at friends all day long, but then I don't do it for me, and realizing the whole put your mask on first, you can help other people applies to me too. Those were just all things I didn't think about it. I will tell other people these things all the time, but I don't apply it to myself. So it's very much a holding up that mirror and going, do as you say, not just tell others to do as you say. Taking that hour, that half hour for me, which to some people may seem selfish, letting go of hustle culture, even if it's for a couple hours a day, has been one of the best things ever, because Yes, money's important, but if I work myself into an early grave, I can't enjoy it. There are so many people that want you to quit. They want me to quit. They want me to not talk about diversity. They want me to not talk about inclusion. I do it to spite them. And it's not a great self-improvement plan, I freely admit this, but a lot of what I've done has been fueled by spite. And when I struggle to find motivation, I actually think about the people that have reached out or come up to me after a con or a panel or whatever and say, seeing you has made a difference. But knowing just one person sitting in an audience got something out of just seeing someone like them on a panel, that's the kind of thing that inspires me and motivates me, because I'm not doing this for me. I'm already doing the work. It is what I do. But knowing that, some teen, some young adult, someone, or even someone my age may see themselves reflected and feel better about their being in the industry, trying to do what they do, that's the kind of motivation that's there. And not like I want people to come up to me and be like, oh my God, you changed my life, but just knowing that by merely existing and being visible and speaking, I've made a difference for someone. Do things for you. Do what makes you happy. I know that sounds simple and easier said than done, but if you're not happy, if you're not able to find the joy in what you're doing, it's going to always be a chore. It's never going to be what you want. It's always going to show in your work and in what you do. And honestly, if you can't make yourself happy, then you should work on that first and not try to please other people, make others happy, because it's a very empty existence trying to make everyone happy but yourself. When you find that self-joy, when you find that light for whatever it is that gets you out of bed each day, that's going to make all the difference, and everything else will hopefully fall into place. Can't guarantee it, but at least if you know who you are and find your center and find your joy, that's going to help you get a much better start to your day, to your life, to whatever it is that brings you passion and joy. And hopefully watching this video, watching others, will help you find that spark and help you find that joy again.